Welcome back to the NALCS Countdown. We're about 12.5 minutes away from Champion Select, and it's time for one more Jat Stats.
I only have 2 questions today.
Only 2, thank God.
I'm going easy on us, sorry.
Yeah, and this is also an easy question because there are 2 correct answers. Fewest kills in the LCS for a non-support player who's played 17 games. So
Okay,
there are
so
2
none of the
players.
subs.
This is
and
not
no
historical.
support.
That's this split, not historical. Okay.
2 players are tied for 18
Quick, I'm going to do
kills.
some math.
2 players
On
are
all
tied for.
my
Yeah, we have all the
different
You just have to
KDAs.
name one of them.
I feel
All
like
right.
Flame it. No, actually.
So I'm going to say one of them should be a jungler. for
Yeah,
sure.
that would make sense. So then you're looking at somebody like Onda, who probably doesn't have too many kills.
Onda hasn't played all the games. So
He hasn't.
Right,
Oh, that's
he
true.
doesn't
Therefore,
qualify.
so he doesn't count.
yeah, I just
Okay.
saved your life.
Thank you so much, Mark.
God,
Oh my God, who are the rest of the junglers in the league?
Well, I think there's like,
like
contracts,
Lyra.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Lyra.
I like Lyra too.
Pull up the answers, see what happened.
Did we get one?
Get it?
Pull up the answers.
Lyra!
It's both junglers too.
Good job.
Well done,
Yeah.
Mark. We're amazing.
All right. Well, next question then, since you're apparently good at this game now.
Okay.
So good.
Who has the lowest forward percentage in the league?
Of all players.
All players. So it's like
Who
any
is the most
lane, could be a
passive
jungler.
player?
Who is the biggest turret hugger in the league?
And this is not
Forward
no game
percentage-
restrictions, right?
Forward percentage is the highest percentage, or the percentage of time you spend beyond
Across the
50% mark between 3 and 15 minutes. So it's like a laning phase stat.
Right. So
So it's like Cody actually plays pretty.
so
lanes,
potentially a
it's like
laner.
a mid laner who gets pushed.
There's
in
also the-
constantly like
You're including junglers in this, right? Because there's some junglers who just like
well,
don't
like
go in
high losing lanes. I
He
feel like
roams
we
a
get
lot.
pushed. He does get. Does that count then if you go into the river?
If you're
It's beyond the halfway point.
if you go
Yeah.
through certain
So if you're
padding.
on their side, it's 4%.
I'll say Zig. I feel like he's just always under his turret.
Oh, that's a
getting
good one.
dope.
But Dokla. Does Dokla? Can I use
Every
Dokla?
player
Dokla.
is
He said
fair
every
game.
player.
Dokla.
So.
Yeah. Close. Febiven.
It was a mid laner. What?
was a
But
mid
that
laner.
actually is the last mid
surprising,
laner.
yeah.
I wouldn't have chosen him. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I mean,
You didn't swear. So
I
you
did
no
not
longer
swear.
get to
Oh.
contribute to the swear jar. This jar contributes to more Jat stats.
all right,
Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
like-
That's great,
yeah.
Jat.
Like half my paycheck.
But here's the thing,
right
you've
there
been-
that I put into that jar over the course
Yeah.
of this split.
Here's the thing, you've been bullying us all split long with these stats. We got
Yeah?
the last one wrong again.
You did.
And I'm sick of it. So
I'm sick of it,
taking
too.
over.
That's my boy, Mark.
Let's get control back.
Get
to the
him,
desk.
Mark.
We're doing Mark's facts.
Ooh,
They're not stats,
Mark facts.
Yeah, here's
well, there
the
it is. We had a
between a
graphic
fact and
made
a
and
stat.
everything.
This is maybe less
Make it
numerical.
up. Like it's,
No. All right, so
right.
here's one for you. We had
Okay.
Kobe on the desk. He was great, by the way. What a joy.
He gave you
was
Kobe stats that were
He gave,
super
he
easy.
gave us nice
Yeah.
Kobe
The answer
stats. One
was
of them
Kobe.
was that he was a former pro player, now turned caster, who won a
Okay.
gold medal at WCG.
Okay.
There's another former pro player turned caster who played at WCG in 2011 who got knocked out in the quarterfinals. Who
Who
was
would
it?
that be?
Who would that be?
Huh?
Scar is a caster, right?
What?
He got knocked out.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, I don't
Consider
see him in-
Scar
I
a
don't see-
caster,
have you-
Jazzy. I
have
feel like,
you
feels like
seen him
he's
on Riot
reaching
Games?
I'm a
over
cutie
there,
pie as a
right?
host.
I haven't seen them on Riot Games.
Hosts aren't
broadcast.
casters.
Rift.
You guys have made that painfully clear to me.
I'm gonna say Scara or Cutie Pie. Actually,
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Jared. You're gonna miss that one. It's you.
Jack.
It's you, Jack. You
I
lost.
dispute the results here. I think
It's all right,
Scara
man.
and Cutie
Hey,
Pie.
That's okay. You're
And
starting
Boy
about
Boy,
as hot
he's a
as we did.
streamer.
I don't see them anywhere on this
They
broadcast
all lost.
anymore.
They all lost.
All
They
right.
have, they have been.
All right,
That's,
yeah,
that's
hey.
0 for 1.
Yeah, I feel really bad for you, so I'll give you
I
one.
challenge.
Yeah, where's the flag, the red
Can
flag?
I get an official ruling on
Yeah.
that one?
All right, give me the next one. I got.
You're
it.
right.
All right, so the next one. You play a lot of Morgana and solo queue.
Yeah, I do, mid lane.
Yeah, you really like
Yeah.
it. So here's a really easy one for you. How many dark bindings have been cast in the LCS
Since when?
since this split? How many dark
This
bindings?
split.
How many
Dark
times have
bindings.
pro players pressed Q in games this split?
Playing Morgana.
Do I have like a jar of M&Ms?
it's basically-
Do you want a hint?
Like,
Do you want a hint?
I do.
Here's your hint.
Okay.
There's no
more
hint.
than that.
There's no hint. There's no hint in here.
You
There's-
dumped out all the
if
money.
The number is greater
hint.
than the amount of money in that jar.
Okay, so it's this split, Morgana Dark Bindings.
Yeah.
You're not even telling
basically
me
how many
times
Morgana games has
been
Hakuo played, and what's the average of dark
Like
bindings
no one
that he
plays more.
throws?
There's like one game, two games.
Jat, you're running out of time. I mean,
I know.
We go through this every week. Did you feel our pain now?
187.
You are so wrong. 576.
576.
How'd you not get that?
187.
Shoot,
Come
yeah.
on.
I was 1/3.
Come on.
Close.
All right. See, doesn't feel so great, does it?
I feel fine.
Oh.
That was really fun.
All right.
we should
well,
do that again.
I'm looking forward to summer split now, guys. Aggressive plays can make a pro look like a god or like an idiot, and while the difference between the two can come down to finesse, sometimes all it takes is a partner in crime who's there to follow up, just to say, I'm helping. Brought to you by State Farm. And while Svenskaren's Olaf did pick up early kills versus Team Liquid, it couldn't have happened without a well-placed lantern from Smoothie just 4 minutes into the game.
Svenskaren just going with the Predator on a Pobelter.
Svenskaren flashing forward, looking to secure the kill here onto POB. A little bit more damage will do it. Jensen going in here as well, and first blood over to Svenskaren. Xminty tries to fight him, but it's a double kill, and the pull to safety!
I'll be here first. Way before Tom. Chase him down. Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, coming. Okay, I don't have
I'll
to.
be Start here. I'm coming here. No fast gunner 2. TP.
I can TP in 3.
Come
I'll TP in 3.
here. Legend.
Take it.
Nice.
Tom's around. Careful. I might need help.
No, you're fine. Tom's
Okay, good shot.
kidding. Nice. Good job,
Flash
Dennis.
met too, right?
Yeah, he flashed.
Yeah, I do
Right
think the
place, right time,
communication
man.
is important
Yeah,
with that
I was
as
just
well,
gonna say.
saying how far ahead he is in Tom Kench. Unluckily, that was like the second last kill they had in that game.
Right.
But that play in itself was still really good.
It was a very, very good play. Love it when my threshes are positioned well for lanterns and get me out of sticky situations. Vidius had the perfect 100% prediction rate
Did he?
yesterday. He did.
One out of one.
One game.
of one on that optic game,
Yeah.
one that none of you were able to predict. And so we'll see if Jat and Mark can go toe-to-toe with him today. Just as a refresher, we've brought in a
crushed
number.
guests.
We have
Yeah,
brought in a
not close.
number of different guests throughout the split. We've had the coin, we had the darts throwing, we
Yeah.
had the fans a couple
Twice.
times, we
Joel.
had Joel
Twice.
trying to help the
We had
fans out.
DeFicio.
So the cumulative prediction accuracy of those things is 42.9%.
That's
You
really
guys
bad.
far outdo that prediction rate. But I am hoping that Vidius can strike
right,
back
what's he
this
got?
time around. Let's take a look at this
What's he
video.
Gentlemen, welcome to my humble abode. I am a little surprised that you would issue this challenge onto me, given that back in week 3, on February 4th, one of your colleagues, the Puerto Rico or something along those lines, said to me to predict all of the day's outcomes, to which I did and was correct for all of them. Now, typically I would not accept a secondary challenge. However, I saw the distress that my good friend and colleague Dash was in, and have decided to lend a helping hand. So, for today's games, we will have Cloud9 securing the first win of the day. Clutch Gaming will be sure to follow up. TSM will take the third game. 100 Thieves will in fact defeat Echo Fox. And Team Liquid will secure the final win of the day. Now, I thought this was a little too easy, so I took it a step further. And based on my predictions, you will have a tiebreaker between Cloud9 and 100 Thieves, which I am expecting Ryu to be taken off the Talia and Cloud9 to be picking themselves up a strong bottom lane. Smoothie and Sneaky will be the ones to carry, and Cloud9 will secure that semi-final spot. Now, gentlemen, I have crumpets on the way, so I must bid you adieu. So toodle pip for now, and have a wonderful show.
A little hard to understand, but I think that's due to the Welsh accent
Yeah.
and the echo that
Just
is,
the
is
accent,
inherent.
though. The echo was
yeah,
not
the echo was fine.
No, that's
Was he
what
talking
that's a
about
part
like
of the
week
Welsh
3
accent.
or something?
What was that? Yeah, week 3.
What?
He threw out some predictions. He claims he was 5-0.
Also,
on
he's
those.
got the same predictions as me. He just
Here's
copied.
what he throws
He
out
literally
today.
picked the favorites.
Well,
every
I
game.
mean, can you blame him if they're actually going to win?
Well, I just know that he's not going to beat me.
That's true.
Yeah.
He did call out the tiebreaker, and
the-
so we might get to that
The
point.
only
and have to
reason
use
I
that.
had 100 Thieves, and I need an upset here to catch Jat. And
I'm going to be really upset if you
so
catch me.
I
and
had
we
to pick
tie
one
for
upset, and it
predictions.
felt like 100 Thieves.
You felt like Echo Fox upsetting. Isn't that crazy that you have to say that? You
I mean,
have to
there's
call
so
that
many
an
playoff
upset?
versus non-playoff teams. It's like a crapshoot. If it's Clutch that loses to Golden Guardians or FlyQuest, so I didn't want to
I
take
think
a
Echo
risk.
Fox has DeMonte and Pop Chow again.
Yeah,
Right? Like, they're
so-
still moving around those.
I'll wait
That's
for
why
confirmation on that.
the-
but-
Give those 100 Thieves,
That's
man.
why I'm saying they're the underdogs, but they're the closest to upset. Who would you pick for an upset?
I just wouldn't pick an upset. I'd win.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
see, so, but
Got all
that's
5
because
games.
Jat's sitting pretty in the lead, man. He can just coast. It's up
Yeah.
to you to catch him.
That's what I'm trying to
from
do.
this point onward. So we do have one differential in the analyst predictions that comes in Game 4. We'll have to see how they do. Now, Mark, you got help though from a social source today, as Jat's kind of been, had the aid of his dog this entire
Yeah,
split. It felt only natural that in Week 9 you get something.
Yeah, he's got Kubo. I've seen Freak using puns, and I just felt a little left out. I don't have a pet or animal of my own, so I tried to make do as best I could. So
Who's this?
Well,
This is you.
Yeah, that's me. I'm setting up the flags. I tried to ask you to give me your flags, and you wouldn't share.
Jack's
Those
Those flags are really hard to make.
They're not that hard. I made them with chopsticks.
Sit.
Is that your roommate?
Yeah, I don't have a dog, so I have a roommate.
It's just offensive.
My boy Zell, man. It's been a long time since Zell and I have shared a screen together.
He was not as excited as your animals are. I was trying to be encouraging.
He always picks the right one.
They're fun.
Yeah.
How do I know he doesn't?
Also
always
in the
pick right
CLG.
one?
Wearing the
Going against
CLG shirt, picking
Oh.
TSM.
I just don't want to waste.
And then you eat the other.
Oh, and then Mark.
I mean, I
But
don't
Mark,
want
you didn't predict CLG.
You don't want to overfeed your pets.
That's the
so
good
you
point.
gotta
That's
protect
the good
them
point.
from
Yeah,
themselves.
especially that human food, right?
Yeah.
You gotta balance that all out. Anyway, turning our attention to that first game, we've got Cloud9, who are in risk of losing their spot in the top 2. Let's talk about both of these squads.
Yeah, and C9 does need to turn it around. They have been talking a lot about how they're just trying to prepare for playoffs by picking the early game snowball compositions that they then need to complete to victory, and that they could be winning more games because they know what they're best at and they're trying to become more flexible. But at a certain point, you got to win because they still don't want to give up that playoff bye, especially after what happened in Summer Split last split where they've lost in quarterfinals. Like,
Right.
C9's been the number 3 seed many times in their history and actually not even made semifinals.
And an
So-
arguably more competitive top 6, which makes it
Yeah.
even scarier this time around.
Yeah, it
Gotta
doesn't
start
feel like
playing better.
anyone in quarters will be the favorite once you get into it.
FlyQuest on the opposite side, though, of Cloud9, of course, out of the playoff picture, but would still like to end their season on a high note.
Yeah, I mean, you see some of these teams just playing very loose and free now that they're out of the playoffs. We saw it yesterday with Optic. They played that AP Ezreal and just had a crazy game. So I think FlyQuest will probably come in with a very similar mindset, and they could be the huge trigger if they win this game for that massive 5-way tie that we're looking at.
Minutes ago, time for some win conditions. Jat, you're up first with Cloud9.
Easy. C9
yeah?
win
3
condition.
and 5?
I actually have a bit of a different one. It's get Licorice involved in the mid game, and this has a lot of assumptions attached to it because I feel like their early game has been so reliable of actually giving them a win condition. Wherever Svenskeren goes, early game seems to be very effective for them. They've been snowballing bot pretty well, but then once they have that advantage, Licorice is just not getting involved. So they have to find a way, whether it's getting wards down so he can TP or actually moving top lane to push down his turrets to make that work.
Mark, you got FlyQuest.
Yeah, so I have put Flame on a playmaker as well as defend your bot lane. Jazz talking about how good they are at snowballing around their bot lane, especially with Svenskeren, so defend that. And then Flame has a tendency to like to play these kind of like one-on-one isolated matchups, the GP, the Gnar, back in the day Renekton, but you really need to have a bigger influence in the mid game than Licorice get around the map roaming. You just heard about the same kind of idea as him.
Yeah.
There you have it. Last day of the regular season. Time to throw it out to the Battle Arena to get it on our way.
Thank you very much, Dash. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Battle Arena. I am David Freak Turley, joined here by Sam, Kobe, Hartman, Kensler, and Cloud9 versus FlyQuest is about to hit the stage. In fact, it's early. The countdown's hitting 0, but there's already been a champion banned. We're ahead of schedule here in the North American LCS because we are almost invariably guaranteed tiebreaker games at the end of the day. And if you're holding out for the 5-way tie, you're hoping that FlyQuest wins this one.
All right, well, let's see. Banning off the Olaf here from Svenskeren. We did see it yesterday, started out with the 4 kills, but then Cloud9 letting that game slip away. They did see the strength of the champion, though, and they were very scared of that one to want to let the first pick go through.
And similarly, you actually saw FlyQuest do pretty well with Ornn themselves. Flame had actually won the lane against Huni earlier on, despite Huni playing a very strong champion in Swain, so a champion off the table for them as well. And I am curious what style Cloud9 does settle upon, because I heard from Mark Z saying, oh, but the tank meta at the top lane, it's harder for Licorice to do well and top over there, and Huni seemed to have somewhat similar concerns that it was a bit harder to carry from the top lane in general in the last couple of patches. I don't really think like tank meta top lane is truly a thing necessarily, but certainly Cloud9 has looked less good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we have seen other options than tanks, right? Someday on the Darius, things like this to come out and try and counter. So counter pick for top lane still definitely is a very prominent thing here in the LCS, but as you ban out Olaf and you leave Skarner up, those are kind of the 1-2 combo of junglers right now, so Cloud9 will take their end of the deal and wait to see if it is a trap that's been laid here by FlyQuest, what they're going to get on the backswing of this champ select.
Gonna be fun to see what these teams strategize. Of course, FlyQuest will not have a postseason to the spring split. They are guaranteed to end in either 8th or 9th place based on results today. I do believe is where the stats are going to end up for themselves. Sejuani going to be locked in for Onda. Of course, Cloud9 in the running for a playoff bye, hoping that can happen. And we'll just see what they find for themselves. Do you want to point out, you mentioned top lane counter pick being pretty important sometimes, but Cloud9 did, of course, choose blue side this game, so they were more worried about getting first pick with this Skarner than they were about giving Licorice an advantageous matchup. What does Turtle want to play? Kog'Maw in his last game of the split.
All right, so we've got some front line already here for Kog'Maw. A little bit of protection. They're going to hover over some of the options. Like, there still are a lot of options for the bottom lane. You know, the Tahm Kench, Thresh, Braum kind of circulate as far as those three changing as far as the counter picks go for the bottom side. Cloud9 and Sneaky and Smoothie have been extremely good for them for this split, for the majority of the split, and they're locking in the Caitlyn already for some early tower push, try and up the tempo maybe a little bit.
Absolutely. Will they pick their support alongside this as well, or do they hold that one on for later? Looking at maybe like a Cassiopeia mid lane, something sort of priority here in mid for Jensen. We'll see what they want to do. 5 seconds ago to that Lachlan has to come in, and it's actually going to be Gangplank, which we have seen as a flex. Gangplank has worked pretty well in the mid lane also. Of course, they will still have to show at some point, but being blue side, they can flex that around and wait for one of the solos to be locked in from FlyQuest till later on.
So watching the rerun of the Analyst Desk segment yesterday, or the lounge stream where Huni was talking about Gangplank, still a very good pick if you're a good Gangplank player. So there were nerfs to this champion, but definitely still blind pickable here as far as Cloud9 is feeling.
Yeah.
And, Flame doesn't hesitate to go back to the Gnar, which is even stronger nowadays.
Right, it's good into Gangplank specifically, and of course a great champion in general. I do want to point out something with 8.5. There was a micro patch like a day after 8.5 came out, which removed the Bandit passive from gold generation items. That said, Gangplank already had stopped going Relic Shield anyway. He was going Corrupting Potion because the mana cost nerfs to his Q, so it didn't even have that big of an effect on Gangplank anyway. In 8.4, he was already opting out of the item, but just FYI for those who haven't followed the patch, that's already come in as well. And so we will almost definitely not see Relic Shield Gangplank.
And just for some extra little insight, if you didn't catch the lounge stream, Huni said that he actually revealed his secret strategy for being a good Gangplank player. And he said, you queue them as much as possible and you hope for the red elixir from your Klepto. And that's what makes a good Gangplank, is getting the elixir.
RNG makes him a good champion. All right, well, there you go for that one. Orianna and Azir removed as mid lane champions. Cloud9 are going to have less choices for Jensen here. FlyQuest pretty confident that Gangplank will go top, but again, we've seen it mid in pro play, so I do want to see if Jensen pulls that out to be a little bit more sneaky here. One final ban for Cloud9 and FlyQuest. We'll see what champion they want to grab. They need a mid laner as well as a support for Stunt.
Yeah, they have some pretty good, engage for them right now. Gnar's not always the most reliable, but with Sejuani there, it's kind of a good 1-2 punch. Sion has been very popular even after the correction to the hitbox for his shout that was causing him to pretty much,
hit everything.
Yeah, exactly. a lot of power in lane by, having a very large hitbox. Not going to be the case here though, as they do take that Braum with the, the Tahm Kench was already banned out.
Okay, so they are saving mid lane for last, just in case Cloud9. Well, of course, Cloud9 destroy their mid laner here. If they do assume the Gangplank goes top, but I'm curious what they will pick for themselves. Again, Azir, Orianna off the table. Karma banned away from the Cloud9 side. They will grab support first with his Alistar. Assuming they do lock that in the next 3 seconds. And then what will Jensen be playing? And will that Gangplank indeed go to Licorice? That is going to be the Alistar Caitlyn bot lane here for Sneaky and Smoothie up against Kog'Maw plus Braum.
So you always have to worry about, the Alistar combos into the Caitlyn trap then. Do like any sort of combination of, CC with the Caitlyn pick in the bottom lane, because you get to abuse the range, but then you also have the added threat of, ooh, we can go for jungle ganks. We can go for kill pressure as well. Plus Smoothie being very well known for his roams, especially on Alistar. It does put a lot more pressure on the rest of the map. And you actually said it early on, first phase of Champ Select, the Cassiopeia. Possible, backline duo here with the Caitlyn, and that is going to be locked in for a lot of late game damage from Cloud9, considering the Gangplank coming from top.
Totally true. 3 carries and 2 pretty good tanks. Even as a support, Alistar is super durable because of that ultimate, and Skarner no slouch in himself. But it's going to be against Sion in the mid lane. You expect him to shout some minions at the Cassiopeia and maybe even rush a Banner of Command to make the laning phase a little bit easier. So mid Sion in for Fly, but it means that Turtle is almost all of the damage on the team. It is 4 tanks and a Kog'Maw.
4 beefy bros and Turtle.
Meatballs, as Captain Flowers would call them. Turtle hopefully can sit in the back line for this one with the shields in front. 30 seconds to go, but no swaps left to be seen. And we'll see what happens. If FlyQuest win this game, they guarantee an 8th place finish in the North American LCS Spring Split. Cloud9, of course, again, still in the runnings for a playoff bye. We'll see what can happen into this one.
This is going to be an interesting early game because Cloud9, like we said, they have a lot of theoretical damage for the late game with Gangplank, Cassiopeia, and Caitlyn, all scaling quite well. But FlyQuest, as you said, they have so many forms of engagement that they really just need to get one item on Turtle, the Rage Blade, and start making plays around the map with the plethora of tanks that they've drafted.
Absolutely the case. So if he can get out of the landing phase and get that power spike in, that'll be fun times for FlyQuest. But Cloud9 might just hold that cog down with a pretty strong laner in Caitlyn. You are trolling with those signs, by the way. Tiebreakers are life. Tiebreakers are love, and we'll see just what's going to happen. Shout out to Franker Z, one of my favorite Twitch emotes. And we are into the game. Cloud9 versus FlyQuest. The last time these teams would do battle this split. Fly hoping to end it on a positive note. Cloud9 hoping to make it into the top 2 for the postseason.
I'm going to bring back your tiebreaker if we have a 3-way tie.
Yes.
And that's what we'll end it with.
Somehow I was right all along. And vroom, we've got the, I forget the name, the Hextech skin for Skarner over there. Battlecast Skarner. The most metal of all of them. Literally.
Jeez.
And they're dancing back and forth.
Yeah, it's a good one because it's the only Skarner skin that has missiles and saws on it as well.
That's true.
Going to see if they start off with the early Spire captures. Those are always very nice. Skarner has a very quick clear speed early on. And if you have these Spires in the river that we are hovering over now, then it makes it very easy to also grab Scuttle Crabs and try and use the early tempo that you can get with Skarner due to his very quick clear. A lot of the times we'll start on the Raptor side because you want to get your Raptor camp respawning very quickly. Yeah. So whether you start on red or start on Raptors, kill at one of the first 2 camps so you can get back there as quickly as possible.
Well, the D-board will spot a red buff start for Sven, but they won't be able to easily deduce whether he went Raptor second or not, but it's, of course, very likely for that champion. It would be weird not to do so. So red goes over with no problems, a very quick leash there. And I do believe that squad was mostly in fog of war. However, there are still some pings from Cloud9 saying, hey, you know what, I think those guys started on that side. Yeah. And of course, they are right.
So what you can do is you look at the top lane. Both of them showed instantly from the fog of war, and both bottom lanes came delayed, also missing mana. And yes, you can still fake leash, use some mana, on a camp that you're not leashing or something, and have your junglers start all by themselves on the other quadrant of the map. But that is fairly unlikely, especially since we have a Skarner versus Sejuani matchup, both trying to get some early clearing speeds going.
Nice bit of damage on both sides there. Double health potion for Jensen, plus the Doran's Wing, whereas Corrupting for Fly is going to give him even more health and mana sustain, plus poke power. Jukes it, Jensen.
Made possible by the recent correction.
Most likely would have hit otherwise. Of course, still a pretty viable champion. Anda walking through a ward, but Sven already got that first one. Now a battle. Hits by the flail once, and Anda runs away.
Look at that. Has the Spire, gets the Scuttle Crab very easily. Even chases him onto the next Spire here, and he's going to find him in his own jungle.
Looking for the dual stun, comes in, but Fly is here first. Sven, cut up to his old habits on TSM, on 200 HP. Might have to flash the wall, getting really low, and flash is late. A catastrophe for Sven. And now Anda just going to keep running. Does have flash if he needs it. Will he be in danger? Down 100 HP, smites for health, and gets to walk right back out. Sven, brother, doing badly.
Oh my goodness. That was definitely a desync between Sven and Jensen. It looked, last time we had seen, well, I mean, yeah, he'll eventually kite it around here, but he doesn't have another smite coming up, so he's going to have to knock it back again.
Oh, no! Okay.
Gotta give up. And we all saw that, and Cloud9 all saw that because they had a ward there.
Yeah, they did.
So they also know that he's been heavily delayed, so maybe Sven can try and make up some ground here, knowing that Anda wasted quite a long time on that red.
Oh, and a ping on this Skarner, though. He was spotted, but he's going to get a Raptor steal, and he knows there's no problem. He knows Anda had to recall 5 HP, and this will be a steal.
Yeah. This time around, though, the Scion, again, roaming first, going to try and chase him off the little ones.
Takes some damage for his troubles, though. Looks like most of the camp goes away regardless. I think one small Raptor still left up in that camp, but Sven making the best out of that situation.
So if you look at the mid lane right now on the mini-map, Sion definitely has the push, actually. Fly here easily roams back up, so Svenskeren not really playing to the position of his mid laner, even though it is Cassiopeia, and early on does have a lot of threat. He not only goes for the super deep invade in which the enemy mid laner will collapse first, but he also wastes his flash at the end from one side of the Sion queue to the other side and still gets killed by the same spell.
And we call that one the high from what he did yesterday against Zach right there. Flashed into the ultimate. Poor boat rough there, but happens, I guess. And now we'll see what comes in. Actually, sorry, that was, I think, Huhi. Either way, flaming flare.
Just flame everyone.
Flame everyone. You know what, Kobe? Speaking of missing smites, yeah, we're on to that one now. All right, so mid lane being cleared up. 600 gold lead, of course, for FlyQuest, courtesy of First Blood. Jungle camp's actually back in Sven's favor, though. He's actually got a 2.5 camp lead via his various poaching and also being Skarner.
Yeah, and he's also got the boots rushed to get the early purchase here, so it's a possible Predator move. He's, again, hanging around mid. Doesn't use the Predator. That was more for a counter gank, it looked like.
On the backline, some damage over Turtle. Look at the stun as well, down to 250 HP, but the re-engage towards an ulti-less Alistar means some damage back. Turtle, though, still pushed away. Farm right now a bit equal, and in fact, this wave would be a lot of extra gold towards Turtle, which means FlyQuest are actually out-farming the bot lane. Cog into Caitlyn. This is actually a portent of good things to come, because he is the big carry, and he is not losing lane.
Yeah. Getting those last hits in, even under duress, under the turret here. Turtle farming up on Kog'Maw. And as we said, this is going to be one of the main points of the composition. FlyQuest drafted 4 tanks around a Kog'Maw. You get a Rage Blade, and you basically just have the front line play defense by playing offense, charging forward and creating space for you to work with during your W cooldown.
Looking at this as the jungle once again meet, but level 5 versus level 4, Sven pretty much an advantage, and there's no way you invade it into the Caspiopea's jungle at that point. So Jensen going to get the push going towards Flood. Keep in mind level 6 could mean an attempt at something. No 6 yet for Jensen, needs the rest of that next wave. With Onda still trying to battle around here, spotted out by some wards, but with Stunt roaming over, this is now a possible 3v1 against Jensen. We'll have to play with respect in a little bit as the control ward comes down, which really means they can't track Onda. Stun goes back to farming.
Yeah, and a pretty significant experience lead built here for Svenskeren. It's definitely going to mean that he gets to level 6 first on the Skarner. Is usually the case, but Smoothie's on a roam now onto Flame.
Find the stun, they buy some damage from Licorice. Now a TP available for Stunt to join the party. Gonna jump forward, it's gonna be a flash to get away from the queue. Licorice was very much afraid of dying to that one, and the correct choice, I think, to flash away from that. Blue gonna be picked up right there by Fly. Infinite Mana, Spectre's Cowl, first item. He can start that lane forever.
Yeah, Fly feeling very good about the wave control now. Gonna be able to spam. Svenskeren actually gonna come over, clear the control ward. Still not level 6. I believe he needs another camp there to... Oh, there we go. Gonna get some ward experience and some minion experience instead. And be able to ding that. So now we have the ultimate available, and you can roam with your support.
So Impale is prepared. Who's he gonna find? Who can he say get over here to? Gold lead remains 700 though. These lanes are pretty much at equilibrium so far. Nice ulti in for Flame. Some damage now onto Licorice, but shouldn't be in too much danger. Gets hit one more time though. Nice little bit of trading. Skill shots landing. Flame down in CS, but that is expected of the matchup. And I feel like the degree to which he's behind is reasonably good, honestly, for the Cloud9 side. I think it's pretty comfortable right now for Licorice, and he's back on a style of champion that was historically best for Cloud9 as well. Licorice, mostly a carry player on the top side in his purple split.
Sven is angry, looking to ult somebody right now. Onda's playing the distance pretty well, though, on Sejuani. Able to hit him with the slow there. Sven's still able to clear out some of the wards, though, and push up to try and gain ground.
No ult yet on Sejuani. I speak of that as Alma just now gets it off of the Krugs. And could be someone predicted by the Cloud9 side, but knowing that the Sedge is top side, maybe a gank can come through somewhere else. Yeah, right now Sven has not found himself anything extra special. Playoff scenarios update. Echo Fox, of course, Cloud9's biggest fans. If they want to guarantee that they're happy into the postseason, this would be because of 3-way tiebreaker rules. 100 Thieves, even if they beat Fox, would not seed well enough into that sort of mini bracket.
So across the board here, strong CS from the solo lanes of FlyQuest. Uh-oh, bottom lane Ignite is used.
Oh, and the flash, oh, that was such a good flash out of stun. He would have almost definitely died to the Smoothie stun, and now he's having a heal used to get away from Wild Turtle's auto attacks there. The heal, of course, still remaining strong from the FlyQuest side. So plus summoners actually for the FlyQuest squad.
And this is definitely going to attract some jungler attention to the bottom side of the map. A lot of summoners blown, as you said, for the supports. And these are low health melee supports. Turtle actually taking matters into his own hands there. Goes for a W trade on Sneaky.
Takes a net to the face though, and the trade goes pretty much equivalent to that point. But still, it's really good farm on the side. Look at this, +9 in the bot lane as Cog into Caitlyn. That is as much of a lane as you can expect from this kind of matchup, especially considering Stunt TP'd out of the lane. And still, they're up in farm. So beautiful by the FlyQuest squad in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Single carry is doing well.
I mean, Smoothie also was walking out of the lane, roaming.
Sure,
so
yes.
He also spent some time there. And the junglers are you know, drawn to the summonerless bottom lane, but it might be a little too late. FlyQuest already pushed out the lane, and they're looking for the recall.
Nice, right there. Lets him get back out of the map, and hits the cannon wave, so harder for Sneaky to push in. But he does have the F-Sword, so shouldn't be too hard to do.
Also have to start worrying about, you know, the global ultimate there. Licorice on Gangplank did already use the first one for wave clear, but he has it available soon. They're not even waiting for it.
Big damage. It's a very much a lone Braum. The kill comes through. Cloud9 there first on the board. Sneaky presses Q, and the easiest kill he's gotten all split long. And a nice play right there to find that desynced recall and get the gank off. Now Jent's going to be stunned by Fly, a very durable Scion. Pushed him around, but keep in mind he's missing a support, so this is not the easiest fight to take on this side of the map. They're going for the turret right now, gets a headshot, and all the local gold goes over to Sneaky. And now the attempted re-engage towards Fly, set around the corner though. Can they find Jensen for a kill? Ult comes in, big damage there, cleanses, flash away. Ult's gonna find only one stun, and the body block there is for Sven, and now it can't be in for Fly. The damage coming back, they're trying to chase him out, but there's not quite enough there. The body block for Onda is good. Now the re-engage, Braum showing up with stun. Can he find a slow? Can he find the fight that they need?
Smoothie's roaming up from the river though, he's gonna trap him!
He's gonna try as Fly takes more and more shots. He's out of mana as well. Jensen with the poison should have the shots coming in, but a flash of the wall keeps him safe. Another re-engage towards Alistair, towards stun on the Braum. 2 more attacks will kill him as the damage will come through. No summoner heal keeps him safe. The rest of the team disengaged and gave it out, so no one even dies.
Oh my goodness. FlyQuest get everyone out alive there. They are going to lose a lot of tempo though, since they're pushed off the map due to the low health. So Svenskeren moves in for some counter jungling, does hit the smite. Jensen also pushing up to the turret, but my goodness, that was, you know, top lane Cloud9 teleport used as well, and that was during a teleport desync, so good job by FlyQuest to get everyone out alive.
Interesting situations there, but is FlyQuest holding on pretty strong. Fact is, though, that Cloud9 got first turret out of the bot lane. The tax they did eventually pay for the Cog vs. Caitlyn matchup.
Rush.
1,000 gold lead for Cloud9. Rush down on this Drake. Sven is kind of around, but his smite is on cooldown. He cannot steal this one, and it is completely safe. A nice smite comes through well enough time by Onda, and that is grabbed up. However, and engaged now on Sejuani. Does have flash, gets over the wall. That's going to be no problem.
All right, C9, they still have, you know, the advantage in gold due to the turret on bottom side that they took with this Caitlyn lane. However, a lot of, you know, sneaky plays here by FlyQuest, and a really good job to grab that Infernal Drake without losing anyone again. C9 will take the tempo on the backside, push in a little bit more of the small counter jungling here, rather than getting the big cries.
Yeah, that's true. Drake definitely more important. I'll throw Drake for a flash every time. Now let's see as Fly gets himself a bit of damage, but just be that Helm Rush, he is so tanky, almost impossible to knock down, and starting a Sapphire Crystal, we'll see if that turns into Banner, but turns into Adaptive, or not Adaptive, but Abyssal Mask, but here's that fight again, that turns into 0 kills.
All right, so this is going to be a pretty good setup here. Onda waiting in the brush, and they were going to combo ults, but Jensen still had both summoners, you know, the cleanse flash going to get him out, and then Cassiopeia damage on the exit is tremendous. Meanwhile, even though they have stunt teleporting in, the Cloud9 bottom lane is still hasn't recalled. So Smoothie just walks up lane once again. Even though he doesn't have the summoner spell to get over to the map, just walks over, sneaky as well from the backside here. They get stunt very low until Turtle moves up into range.
They run away from it.
Yeah, they thought he was dead. They
Yep.
thought he was just dead to rights, and they were leaving the kill for Sneaky. So left all the damage, but Turtle just moves up, gets him with the heal, and allows him to escape.
Stand behind me now actually goes to Wild Turtle's credit. Get behind me, stunt. I got you, buddy. And it works out just fine. So trap line up here on top of a couple of wards. Cloud9 looking to siege now into the top lane. Dual lanes have matched. And with the static shift plus a BF sword, this feels like a better power spike at this moment for the Caitlyn. A Wild Turtle yet to finish Rage Blade should be at the back foot in this matchup. However, teammate can change things around as he walks up looking for some trades. And let's see if anyone does show. Now just kind of safety on both sides. They're not getting any turret damage at all.
All right. So because there was that desync teleport play from the top laners, that means Flame and FlyQuest are going to have the teleport coming up first, on those solo laners that are now on the bottom side of the map. And they're the ones, with a lot of possibility to create plays here with, again, all of these tanks and all this hard engage.
Speaking of which, he's found himself an engage on a Svenskar. Plenty of damage here. Going to pull him backwards, looking for the Sedge ulti, but can't hit that one. Did a little while ago. It's the Cassiopeia ult that stops them all down right there. So damage towards Fly. Out they go. No deaths.
And not only do they use two of those big tank engagement abilities, but they also channeled and canceled that teleport. Used up that little advantage that they had where Flame was available. Now, in the bottom side, it's a Trinity Force Gangplank. He's level 11 now. Licorice is actually the one who's starting to, feel the turn of the game at this moment. He's the one who's got his ultimate ready. His teleport's going to come back very quickly here. Yep. So Cloud9, even though that little exchange around mid didn't look very big, that was a pretty big move in momentum.
Cloud9 still feeling pretty good about this one. 1,200 gold lead for the team. Again, keeping that quest towards a top-end finish alive. Caitlyn has been able to push in the top lane a little bit. Has gotten a few chunks down on that turret, but still a lot of room to go. Sven has made up for his earlier mistakes pretty well so far. Gangplank ultimate available, plus the teleport advantage. So a significant global lead to Cloud9's side. Doesn't mean pressure top lane. You can see that turret at about 60% up there. Wouldn't take all that much effort to knock down. It is going to be Glacial Shroud for Fly, so he is going Banner of Command here.
I think Turtle has money for Rage Blade, but they might have to sacrifice top turret if he does go back for it. Oh, teleporting back out again here, stunt. With that spellbook, getting a lot of mileage out of it.
He is, literally. Now an attempt towards Rift Turtle to fight now, breaking out in this jungle. Ulti comes across from the Gangplank, forcing the flash away from Fly, so now Sion not easily back into the fight. No ultimate yet either. Herald getting down lower and lower. 2,600 HP onto that one. Smite fight's going to be available. Who's going to grab this one? Nicely picked up by Onda. Smacks it in the backside, but now Flame taking a lot of damage. Sorry, I should call that Fly on the Sion. Goes down to Jensen, 2-1 in the game so far. The re-engage comes in. They're going to find a stun. Smoothie has to ult to get away from the Sion. Corpse reanimated. But the rest of the team going to run away. Sven's going to find that ult, but the suppression is in. The stun's not going to land. Can they find stun? He jumps right back to the team. Smoothie flashes in. Can he find the headbutt? Only gets a little bit. He kills himself for it. Smoothie gets just drunk in as gold for FlyQuest.
You could see that one happening a few seconds ahead of time where he walks up to the Baron wall. You're like, I don't know about this one.
My body's telling me yes, Kobe.
But my F key is telling me also yes.
Yes, it was. Sadly, the gold goes over, and with the fact that Rift Turtle was grabbed also, the credit going to Wild Turtle for the pickup, that is a team fight win for FlyQuest. They got the better objective. Now Onda finding a duel with Sneaky, gonna find the stun there. Red buff on means a permaslow, but he does hit a trap, buying himself a few more seconds. The jump's gonna be on a much longer cooldown, courtesy of the Nerf Summoner he'll use as well. So kind of kite, and Onda's out of mana, but here comes Wild Turtle. He's got a flash get away from the Q and was nearly in range. That was a potential flash auto for Turtle to get the kill, but didn't go for it. And that is a disengage, Sneaky burning one summoner onto the same.
Yeah, Sneaky fights his way out of that one. Take another look at this fight, though. So there's the Gangplank ultimate, kind of easily disengaged by FlyQuest, so they decide to go for it. But again, then the teleports are still not matched up. They know that they don't have the possibility of matching a teleport coming in here, whereas Cloud9 have Licorice very ready to pull the trigger. So that's kind of why they also back off, even around the Sion passive there that does pop up. Svenskar gonna go for the re-engage here, and Onda missing that Sejuani ult means he gets to pull him back a little bit further. Then Smoothie goes over with 400 life, and his teammates were just a bit too far behind to capitalize on the split second that he would be able to get his knockup down.
And part of it was when he flashed, he was actually in Fog of War. He wasn't quite in the brush. We have a target for a headbutt in the first second there, and just dropped too quickly. Smart, of course, by FlyQuest to kill him in time. Well played there. Ocean Drake now theirs as well. These neutral objectives actually stacking up for them. The turrets are equal. That said, Cloud9 should get a good chance at this top turret. Depending on how well Fly can stop Sneaky, looks like that's going to be a no. And Sneaky with his second straight solo turret gold here, plus 1,000 gold to his pockets total from turret kills so far.
Yep. FlyQuest do continue to stack up Drake buffs here, but remember, there is going to be a lot of damage scaling on the side of Cloud9 because of the champions that they've picked here. And FlyQuest, they're going to want to be using a lot of these ultimates to create some plays for themselves. There are outer turrets still to take. It looks like on the bottom side, Flame is going to claim this secondary one. Nicely done. So that's definitely some useful gold, and they've gotten to the breakpoint here. Turtle, not only does he have the Rage Blade, but he also has a QSS that he could use for either, Cassiopeia ultimate, Skarner flashing on him. It's kind of the time for them to make moves now, if you look at all the power spikes coming together for FlyQuest.
Yeah, it feels like the right time for it. They're still going to be able to tank up Cassiopeia, not a big problem there. Jensen getting pretty close to Leandri's Torment, though, which will be a nice power spike and tank killing. That'll help him against Fly and everyone else, as Fly's going to walk away with the arrow on his face as Predator almost gets him into range, but Sven can't quite find the pullback. That would have been a 4v1, though, and a likely kill as a result. Sven not dealing damage, wants to keep the Predator move speed on, but still does not quite find his target. Turret getting lower and lower, though. Infinity Edge done for Caitlyn. 2 spike. 2 offensive items, actually. Keeps the damage profile close to what Turtle has. A pretty early QSS tax as a result of the team composition. Licorice now forced to run away from Flame. Not a big problem there.
Yeah, Sneaky has definitely been playing this game extremely well. The Cloud9 carries there from the back line are kind of what's really threatening FlyQuest right now. A lot of pings coming down, though, as FlyQuest start to make a move up into the river towards the Baron, grab some vision.
Big stun in the front line, a chain of CC. They almost get the kill, the suppression. That will be the kill on a stunt. One of the 4 tanks is dead, and a TP in for the flank. Licorice is here, and Wild Turtle's been cut off. Slowed down, flash over the wall. He will die inside the red buff pit. Licorice getting his first kill of the game. Red to be handed over. If they hit that one right, they get it.
And this could be Baron. Cloud9 have a Cassiopeia. They've just killed off the bottom lane of FlyQuest, and they're not actually going to start it up, just going to pressure instead. But man, Cloud9 with the teleport, Licorice coming in, making it look easy.
Absolutely the case. Beautiful stuff there. They pile drove the squishiest tank on the team and found the 5v4 afterwards. Baron not being hit just yet. If they want it a little bit later, instead it's going to be wave clear for now, shoving the top wave in, and looks like they'll play for vision instead.
Jensen going to clear out this wave as best he can. Licorice just resets back to bottom lane. Going to continue farming on this Gangplank, and he's went for the second item, Steric's Gauge here. Makes your Trinity Force proc do more damage. It really makes this a very, very threatening mid game here from the Gangplank, and he's also having quite a good game. Let's take another look. This is why, we talk about so many deaths being in the fight over vision, over wards here. The Braum walks up to the brush just to place it. C9 don't hesitate. Smoothie and Sven instantly in. They kill off the Braum. Then Licorice teleports the trap Turtle here. Not hesitating to flash to take out the Kog'Maw. And with that, Cloud9 taking control of a lot of this game. Even though FlyQuest still sitting on these Drakes, Infernal Drake in a highly tank team doesn't really scale that well because it just increases flat attack damages and ability power. Plus Kog'Maw builds a lot of attack speed. So
yeah, how much do you care about 9 AD on Braum and Sion? Basically not at all, I'm going to go ahead and say is the prognosis there. So you're absolutely right, Kobe. I agree with you. Maybe some rough stuff onto this one. Mid turret going to be dropping pretty soon. Of course, aggro is on, but Rubbish should knock it down. Another kill comes through. The ulti comes across, but doesn't find Sneaky. So Sion cut alone, stunned once again. But watch out, there's a threat. Meganar comes in the back line, and it's going to shut down Sneaky. He's gone, and Fly actually lives. So a 5v4 this time for FlyQuest side. But a nice shot comes out from Licorice's pistol. Will be shut down the same. But a trade of kills. FlyQuest doing a lot better than that one. 2-1 is the trade.
Yeah, you could tell it hinges on can the tank squad get too sneaky. They're able to find him even with the flashes and heals blown there. Taking out the core of the Cloud9 composition here. They also got Licorice in a 2-for-1, and they'd like to get an objective afterwards because they really need to start getting some more of the global gold coming in here. So sieging up on mid, but even pings around Baron now.
They can try for that one. Sneaky just now respawns. Licorice is TP-less and ultimate-less, so he cannot join this fight, but Fly can. His TP is available. So a 5 versus 4. He's teleporting in. This is going to be a hard fight for Cloud9 to win. Can they push FlyQuest off the Baron? Fly's going to walk right back out of the aggro. And Sneaky, of course, still walking out from the base as well, so there's a temporary 3v5 on this one. 2,000 health left. Can Sven get in? He does have flash, but he's stunned up, gets in the pit, can't land the smite. It goes over to Onda, and the re-engage comes across. One tank dead on both these sides. A trade of Scion for Skarner. How about Cloud9's re-engage? Do they find anything? Looks like no. The recall is going to be safely through for FlyQuest and a clean Baron pickup.
I think it's a really smart decision from FlyQuest to take that gambit there. You know, they had the option of, oh, we can push the mid turret, try and get some more gold after these kills, or break open this game and actually get some pushing power. Here's another look at how they actually got to Sneaky. Now, Fly barely was able to get that Scion ultimate around, and he forces the flash, allowing Flame to then follow Flash up onto Sneaky, get the Gnar ultimate, and you can tell everything used to take out that Caitlyn. Once he's down, then everyone just dogpiling here onto Licorice. They finish up the second kill, even though Fly does go down. And with that small margin that FlyQuest are given, now they've got a huge reward in this Baron buff, and they have to make this one really count, you know, for some big gains.
And that gain is going to be Ocean Drake number 2 first off, but still 2.5 minutes to play with for the Baron buff. I will correct myself, it was not ending up being a banner of command picked up for Fly. The Glacial turned into a Frozen Heart to deny the auto attackers from doing quite as much damage. So team fight stats instead for them. Banner meta has clearly left us after the first week. The teams are not quite as keen on it. It did get nerfed, by the way, in 8.5 banner, plus Baron is not quite as strong as before.
Yeah. Also, I feel like against Caitlyn, it loses a little value for me. She has a pretty good range.
Yeah.
So I kind of like it because right now there's an arms race. It's between the tanks and the DPS. Cloud9 are the DPS. FlyQuest have all the tanks, so getting that attack speed reduction is going to go a long way in, you know, allowing them to continue with that strategy, getting to the back line, taking down, you know, Sneaky as well as Jensen. Let's see what they can do with this Baron, though. They've split up all 3 lanes. They're trying to get the minions pushing, getting the map in their favor here before threatening a collapse. Up the river comes Flame.
In from both of them. Gnar on the one side, a nice stun
they
found
got
the back
him.
line. They did hit Sneaky. He's been chain CC'd, and Turtle gets the kill yet again. Now Onda pushed away by Cassiopeia. The damage cannot kill him, though, as the Skarner falls as well. 5 versus 3, the chase is in, but finally Cloud9 able to kite away. FlyQuest, though, yet again find themselves a good fight, a couple of kills, and now control of mid.
Yep, really well played to attack Sneaky again. No summoners on the Caitlyn. They're able to find him. Really good ultimate from Onda. He's the one who starts it out, threads the needle there, nails him with that Glacial Prison, and that is going to be some good pushing from FlyQuest with the Baron, getting some much-needed gold.
Looking at a 6-12 record to end the split. FlyQuest, a tumultuous roster on this team. They couldn't even play with Fly the first couple of weeks, and even then we saw players come in and out. This is the starting 5 that they finally ended upon. Sadly did not do maybe as well as they would have hoped in this split, but looking to knock down a playoff team in Cloud9 at the end of it all. This fight, once again, a great stun.
Yeah, Onda goes right past Sven to the side there, hits Sneaky on the wall, then they're able to finish him off, and after he's down, you know, FlyQuest Cloud9 have to go full retreat. They do still have the anti-chase of Gangplank and Cassiopeia, which, you know, it's difficult to chase into barrel chains and a lot of DPS potential there. And by no means is this one over, because, you know, Cloud9 are still on the scaling, you know, farming for late here. Gangplank, Cassiopeia, and Caitlyn, as we keep on warning, you know, definitely are going to get critical mass here. But again, FlyQuest want to push the tempo. They got Sneaky.
And they found Sneaky yet again, trying to run away, but he's 2 hits away from gone. The stun lands, and Turtle finds his second of the game. Smoothie slowed down. He'll drop as well. A double kill for the Kog'Maw. And FlyQuest, you may think 3 is greater than 1, but those carries are dropping every single time. A great Mega Gnar. Licorice trying to run away, but Fly is here going to land a big stun. The knockup is there, and now with 3 members, they've got to defend their base against this.
All right, well, FlyQuest are loving the tank meta, quote unquote. Okay, there goes the cleanse. They're going to be inside the base, and it's definitely going to be an inhibitor, but will Cloud9 be able to have a resurgence after this? They have a decent amount of vision. FlyQuest are on a roll. Just 3 very crisp engagements onto Sneaky in a row.
And some of that is on Sneaky, you gotta say. Sometimes getting caught is your fault, but also credit to FlyQuest for finding those. Absolutely wonderful for them. And forget him, Caitlyn does 0 damage when she's dead. Watch it again.
Scion just comes straight down the lane.
Why did he walk back up?
Well, Smoothie tried to walk into him, and then Sneaky, walks back up the lane a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of unit collision there with the Alistar, but
I don't know.
Maybe click the mini-map. That happens to me sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe so. I don't think he actually plays reverse mini-map, but I've seen it happen to people who put that in the bottom left corner. Either way, it's rough situation for the AD carry of Cloud9, and he was listed #1 in the first 2/3 of the split, but not quite the same game here, at least in the team fights. Wild Turtle continued to go up and up in damage. He's actually going for a higher damage build as well. QSS for the safety, but Hurricane second into a Blade of the Ruin King third means he can melt through that front line pretty well. Gold difference only 3,000 though. Even though we talk about how FlyQuest are winning fights, this is still within reach on both of these teams' side. Middle inhibitor will of course be useful for map control. A brush bait here. Can they find the damage? A slow one to fly, and the shield actually blocks an entire barrel.
Nice damage.
It didn't crit, but still. Fly is tanky.
Yeah, he also has a stone plate as well, and these are very important tank items. That's going to buy you a lot of time within the team fight. Flame stealing away the red, or attempting to do so. Licorice, that's the advantage of building more DPS.
Yeah.
You know, burst damage there for Licorice. He's able to secure that red. And the split push definitely is scary. With the Phantom Dancer, this is an item that can you know, bring a lot of power to the side lane push. Especially if it is Gnar, you know, trying to get in close with Gangplank. So Licorice feeling quite comfortable about his situation. There we go. Smoothie, though, gets knocked up.
Stuns on both sides. This one now onto the Skarner, forced to run away, down a half HP. Look at him, just melts!
Man.
Wild Turtle to the lead. Svensker is going to get another one as well. A double kill. It is all turning up Millhouse now for FlyQuest. Beautiful from them.
You can see Turtle had just completed the Blade of the Ruin King. So not only was that W active on Kog'Maw, Rage Blade, and the Blade of the Ruin King, all these percentage health procs just immediately melt the tank here. Well done by FlyQuest once again. And this is just in time for a Baron to come up. Ever so sweet.
Beautiful stuff. FlyQuest hoping to end their split on a bang. Flame running out of this one. Does have TP available, and do you try to stop Baron with your jungler dead? That seems almost impossible. Smoothie just now respawns, and Fly gonna grab this one. Waiting for the respawn, camping the Epic as it comes back up, hoping this time to get better loot. Maybe they'll actually get the entire base, not just an inhibitor. 2,000 gold lead will jump to about 5 as Baron falls down. No one's gonna try to stop them at all.
Yeah, and it's also an Infernal Drake that they can move down to the bottom half of the map here and pick up yet another prize.
Beautiful stuff out of them. More damage coming out of Wild Turtle. BF Sword in the inventory. And look at this one. A hop over his head, and Licorice rapidly running out of health. Now finds himself a shot. Now finds stunt as well. Does not have flash. Does not have a prayer. Oh, he's got oranges, though. That does it even better. And look at the ulti coming across. Look at a knock down Flame. They've got the damage, but he flashes back to safety. TP coming in for Sion. Is this a fight that they can win? Kog'Maw's joining the fray soon. Where's the ult out of Onda? What's he going to find for himself? It's going to first be this Skarner. Getting stunned up, getting dropped down, and being killed. Turtle on his 6th kill. And grounded as Fly walking away. The frontliner of Stunt still holding on pretty strong. Jensen looking for his way into this fight as well. Gangplank ult to separate them. Out they go, the Offspring running away. FlyQuest looking good.
Oh, FlyQuest still able to get a kill out of that. You know, Fly coming in. They are fairly low health, but Cloud9 have to deal with minions inside their base on the Nexus turrets. So FlyQuest take the Inferno plus bottom turret.
Yeah, that one's gonna fall, no problem. TP comes in, Stunt here to threaten anyone who would want to wave clear. Not a problem, of course, at all. Double Infernal, double Ocean. As soon as the Infernal finally dies, it's slow. Eventually, though. And it dies! It lives longer than Sneaky does.
Team Tortoise are definitely winning the race.
Yes, absolutely. It's looking hairy for Cloud9. They're looking to get outrun at the end of the split, which is so fitting for the adage as well. Off to a really strong start. Cloud9, I believe, 8-1 to start the split. Now looking at a 3-6 end to it. Licorice just alone. Spotlight on him.
They had vision on Flame. Saw him coming down. Licorice thought he could get the recall off. Flame goes in. We know how this story ends. Really good job, by the way. He killed the first barrel, I believe. Licorice ended up getting one there, but man, that almost killed him. He was saving the removed Scurvy there for after the stun, but almost cost him his life. Then the damage not enough for Cloud9 in that small window they had where they had a extra man advantage. And then the 4 tanks versus 2 here as they just dogpile on his Svenskeren. He gets taken down. Now we're back in.
And a re-engage as Anna comes from the back line. Sneaky though, safe enough. They've knocked down Flame. So in the 4v5, can they find anything more? In this one, they still have Cassiopeia ultimate. That's going to be huge for the Petrifying Gaze. When it comes across, they found the grounding. Wild Turtle safe in the back line. Free hitting on a Smoothie flash the way, but will drop to the ultimate. Now Fly hit pretty low, puts up a shield once again, stunt in the front line as well. And they cannot push through the tanks. Turtle waiting for his W cooldown until he can fight again, but they 1-for-1.
Yeah, Turtle there is able to auto-attack freely with all these tanks in front of him. Cloud9 trying to get through the front line, but they cannot break it. And now it's actually FlyQuest that have the inside track on their base.
And damage on a Licorice. He's good and stunned up. Eats an orange, runs away, finds himself a slow, and will kite away. 3 chasing him, the Kog'Maw alone in the lane. He will stay alive for this one. Whew. You look at the Shambles, the base, and of course the middle inhibitor is down.
Yeah, Cloud9 are able to take out, Flame at the beginning of this, but after that, they have a hard time really pushing through. Take another look at how this one started. It was Sven who's able to activate his Righteous Glory, get the pull down as well, and Cloud9 are able to take down the first target. But then, look at the way that this team fight does play out. Now, it is a straight up 5 versus 4. Jensen does use his cleanse early and then has to flash immediately off the secondary engage there. And even though they get this knock up and ultimate for a little bit of zoning, Turtle on the Kog'Maw was able to deal so much damage to threaten C9, they can't finish anyone off. And the double Ocean Drakes were able to heal up those tanks so massively after the kind of skirmish there. But there you go, back out on the field once again.
You're seeing the damage in the last team fight. It has been very much a lot of pressure out of Wild Turtle. And despite the fact that Cloud9 have 3 tanks, doing more damage doesn't matter when they just have more health than that. So it's worked out pretty nicely so far. Essence Reaver in for Turtle. Yes, Essence Reaver Kog'Maw. I've loved it for so long. Being that he's the primary damage source, W needs to be on to be useful. Essence Reaver allows your W to be up so much more often. I think Turtle's making exactly the right choice by doing this. If his goal is to kill squishies, maybe go IE to chunk them out. But he has to slog through long fights, needs a second W activation.
He's got 4 frontliners to dive the Cloud9 backline. He doesn't have to worry about them. He's just killing off the Sven as well as Smoothie, whoever is closest. We'll see here. FlyQuest poised to break inside the Cloud9 base once again, but C9 farming for late. They're still trudging along, trying to build up these damage multipliers. Really, though, it's about positioning and trying to stay safe outside of these multiple forms of crowd control that FlyQuest are actually layering quite well.
Yeah. Baron spawning in 145. Elder Dragon going to be a minute or so behind that mark. It was a bit of a late kill on the Inferno, but they had been synced up earlier on in this game. Looking maybe for a sneaky play here is FlyQuest. They are in Fog of War. They've snuck through most of everything. You can see missing pings, but yeah, some of them do think maybe they're in that western jungle, and they are correct on that one. And now they know Kog'Maw's been taking the wolves away. That is a bit of information known by Cloud9. We're getting traded back and forth, though. 6,000 gold lead for FlyQuest, plus double Infernal and double Ocean. They're good at team fighting and recovering afterwards, even without the Warmogs being considered in these builds.
Yep. Double Warmogs there. Always nice for any sort of poke here around Baron. 1 minute away. And look at all the vision. We just had a good 30 seconds of FlyQuest cleaning out this blue quadrant of the C9 jungle. They're leaving the map darks. Cloud9 now feeling the pressure. Baron coming up 52 seconds, and they don't have vision to work with.
So now we've got 4 QSS on the FlyQuest team. It's only Sion missing, and he can turn unstoppable to immune that ability anyway. Infinity Edge done for Licorice. Lord Dominic's done for Sneaky. A better team fighter than last we saw that champion. Looking at Fly, a little bit of damage in the front line. Sven's got to be careful though. Damage coming through, a big knockup out of stunt. And a giant slam comes in. Skarner flashing away, staying alive. Now look at the front line as Fly comes in, gets pulled across, but he's just so damn tanky. But they find a giant stun out of Cassiopeia. Smoothie's still going to be first to fall. They trade with Fly. A 4v4 in the base. A huge Meganar comes across. They found almost everybody. Look at the kills come through. Jensen alone and sad as his team is dead. And FlyQuest looking to rush through the mid lane. That should be the game.
Yeah, Flame just trying to stop the recall here of Jensen as Turtle and Stunt run up to finish the game. Nexus turrets in their sights.
They're gonna get it. There's no one to stop them. Jensen can't do it all. Honda gonna face check a turret to make sure it all happens.
FlyQuest gonna end their spring split 6-12. A carry out of Wild Turtle, an 8th place finish, and a win over a playoff team to set their sails. We'll see them in the summer split. We'll see them again in a couple of months, but this is the end for FlyQuest, a 6-12 end, and a smile on Wild Turtle's face.
Yeah, feels great for Turtle there. Got a lot of DPS uptime on the Kog'Maw and really, really nice engagements from this FlyQuest front line. They found Sneaky over and over in the mid game to get them that gold. They were able to time the next one with Baron as well and keep up the pressure.
It also keeps up the dream of the 5-way tie for 2nd place. Step 1 is complete, which I feel like is fun to see for everyone. So some smiles and relief, and I am then curious what FlyQuest will be doing in their off season. They've got a couple of months until they come back in, I want to say June for the summer split. And with their starting 5 a bit more solidified, and a win over Cloud9 at the end of it all, and some close games as well towards the end, maybe they can start that run once again, and we'll see as they attempt to trek towards Worlds. That's almost every team's goal. Wait till the summer split, make that run towards Worlds, represent North America, make them proud.
Yeah.
Rookie talent on this team. Onta had a pretty good game. Wild Turtle, the veteran of all veterans in North America, basically.
He really did. And again, I really want to highlight the front line. When you're playing composition like this, I definitely prefer the Kog'Maw compositions, that go with the very offensive use of crowd control to create space for the Kog'Maw, rather than, the Lulu versions where you're just speeding him up and letting him go wild.
Yep.
So it's much, more fun for me to see these hard engagements.
And it worked really well. So congrats to FlyQuest for their final win of the split. But now to hear more about that win, let's throw it down to our State Farm analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Freak. FlyQuest ending their season on a high note, taking down Cloud9. Going to make things very interesting and also guarantees us at least one tiebreaker by the end of the day. Of course, there's still a lot to unfold here, and we will get to the foldy sheets in just a moment. But first, we want to break down this game, figure out how it was that FlyQuest knocked C9 down yet again here late in the split.
It's basically a giant protect the cog comp on the side of FlyQuest, and C9 have a bunch of late game scaling so they can burn down these tanks that they've built on the side of FlyQuest, and things start pretty good for them. Looks like off that bat invade.
Things were a little sloppy for C9, but then it actually felt to me like they should have taken control of the game. They were up about 1,000 or 2,000 gold. They had a Cassiopeia, a Gangplank, and a Caitlyn, which all three should actually be pretty good against tanks in the late game, as there is that giant meat wall on C9. You got the Leandrews Cassiopeia coming through. You got the Gangplank barrels, but then just a few little missed executions there as Smoothie flashed over to kind of instantly die, and then FlyQuest had the Baron control, and they kept killing Sneaky, which was the biggest thing of preventing C9 from being able to break the tank line.
Yeah, I mean, Jan and I were watching this game thinking it was pretty much all over at 20-something minutes when C9 was sieging turrets, because you have, like you said, the GP is also great into Kog'Maw. He has a difficult time running into barrels. The GPL goes right on top of this immobile carry. You get a ton of damage down in team fights, and yet for some reason, they lose all the objective control. There were 4 dragons that ended up going over to the FlyQuest. They got both Barons, and even though they had a tough time closing this game out because C9 still have a strong comp, they mostly played it right and never got onto Turtle. There was never any real threat on Turtle.
And it felt like Fly learned how to play Sion as the match progressed. Like, his first few ultimates were real bad, but then he had a bunch of really good ones later on. And then when they were just kind of frontline versus frontline, the fact that Svenskeren was always just kind of blowing up, there was no real frontline on C9 when the gold was kind of close, and Sneaky and Jensen just weren't really able to free hit the same way Wild Turtle was, and that was the difference.
Big stun by Flame there to get Sneaky after the ultimate, even with that, what's it called, QSS thing.
And look at that, like, it wasn't even like Wild Turtle was doing the protected cog damage.
I expected to see more damage there.
Well, I mean, that's
Narnar did a lot of damage as well as Sion. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's more tanks on the side of FlyQuest, so you can understand why there's more damage done by C9, but it's just the importance of focusing down a single target. A lot of the time, either Smoothie or Svenskeren would die at the start of the fights, which then means Caitlyn and Cassio have to kite back and have a hard time dealing their damage as well, despite the fact that the numbers look great.
Yeah, Jack, you already mentioned it, though. A lot of, where C9 started to fall behind, or rather hand back their lead, was as a result of Sneaky in particular getting picked off.
exactly, and he needs to be able to stay safe on Caitlyn. Here you see Flame getting to him, and then Onda is able to weave that ultimate through. But then this is the one where there's a really nice onto ultimate, and Flame is flanking at the same time. So like, whether this is on Smoothie or Svenskeren or Sneaky, doesn't matter. This one you need to block, the silent ultimate.
Yeah,
or dodge, or E, or use your heal for move speed to not get hit, because you can't get hit by max range silent ultimates as an AD carry. But that kind of allowed FlyQuest to get the pressure and pick up objectives.
Yeah, and so, but then my question is, where does this come from? Especially with a player like Sneaky. I mean, this is a veteran player, been in the league longer than most guys who take to the stage in this day and age, and yet he's the one getting caught out. You would have thought Licorice, maybe be the guy.
Yeah. And this is why it's so concerning, the fact that they're 3-6 in their last 9 games.
3-6. That's the same as FlyQuest.
Everyone on the team has been making mistakes in the back half of the split.
All right, well, they got to shape up as they move towards playoffs. We're going to toss it down to Avli, though, who's standing by with Flame to hear about their victory.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Flame and our translator, Joanne. Congratulations on that win, ending FlyQuest Spring Split on a high note. I wanted to ask you a little bit about your performance over this entire split and maybe what you thought of it.
At the first, I'm very glad from win in last week. We are already done in playoff, but I really wanted a win this week, and we tried hard. We tried our best, and we won. It's very happy. I'm very happy now.
Proud of you with that win. I wanted to ask you, FlyQuest had a little bit of a rough split, but what were your highlights?
Yeah, I have a lot of scene I remember, but mostly I remember against C9, and when I played GP against C9, I played really well. I remember that especially. But we lost that game. Unlucky.
Well, you got your revenge and you took them down today. Looking towards the off-season, you guys aren't going to playoffs. So what are you planning on doing with your off-season?
Maybe we're gonna scream more a few days, and maybe I will back to Korea and meet friends and family and play solo rank and some streaming for fans.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in that. Enjoy your time back home and streaming. Joanne, thank you so much for helping us. And back to the guys. Oh, you want it? Yes, what else?
Yeah. And we didn't play well in this split, but we tried very hard, and I appreciate my teammate and coaching staff and everyone who cheered for us. Now we're gonna play better in summer split. Thank you.
Congratulations on that win. I'm sure all of the FlyQuest fans out there are very proud of you. And now, back to the guys at the desk.
Thank you, Avli. Classy move by Flame there. Thanking the fans, thanking the coaching staff and his fellow teammates, and promising a better summer split. But, 6-12, not an awful place to be exiting the season, with a roster that had just come together. You've got players like Onda who are still trying to find their footing within the league. And, while they are going to have some time to kind of rebuild and retool, I want to turn our attention to the developing playoff picture. We told you guys to get ready with your foldy sheets. As you see here, this is the results for the 5-way tie. What needs to happen for the 5-way tie? FlyQuest has done their job by picking up the first victory of the day. We will need Clutch, TSM, Fox, and TL to win out the rest of the day. But back to us. You got your foldy sheets. I've already done the folding, or rather tearing in my case. We are down to 16 different possibilities here. We are guaranteed at least one tiebreaker, and these are the current standings as they look now.
Funniest thing, too, is Echo Fox Dardock was tweeting during that game, like, what are you doing, C9? Because with that loss, 100 Thieves can actually get in a just 2-way tie for first.
Right, there's a number of scenarios here in which Echo Fox and 100 Thieves end up playing at the end of the day for that first place in the NALCS. So there it is, folded beautifully by Jack. I tweeted this out, so if you want one of your own at home, just go ahead.
Down to 16.
It should be right down the middle, basically.
You can fold right along with us. It's a lot of fun, I promise.
You're going to want Fly on the side.
So we're looking towards Game 2 here. Clutch Gaming versus Golden Guardians. For that 5-way tie, Clutch needs to win. I mean, that should be the favored team, but they took a hard loss to 100 Thieves Thieves yesterday.
It should be, and we know that they have been so consistently good against teams at the bottom of the standings, but as we just saw from FlyQuest, like one last hurrah for these teams that aren't in playoffs to kind of give the momentum towards summer, it's a very real possibility. I think Golden Guardians are going to try and pull out something new.
Mark, this is your last chance in the regular season to give Clutch, kind of a, a little bit of a boost, send your energy that way. You picked them. Anything else you want to add there?
Can they get a playoff bye?
Respect the line, but they had one time that they won over the line.
Right.
Do they have one loss coming under the line
no,
now?
yeah, that would even them out. Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Up next, Golden Guardians and Clutch Gaming face off in Game 2. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't ask anything, and my mic is extremely loud when it's right here, to myself.
Rupert, can you yell in Sneaky's microphone right now?
Fly is here first. Sven cut up to his old habits on TSM, then 200 HP, might have to flash the wall.
I got Kate. Okay, here, Skarner Noah.
FlyQuest want to push the tempo, they got Sneaky!
They found Sneaky yet again, trying to run away, but he's 2 hits away from gone. The stun lands, and Turtle finds his second of the game. They find a giant stun to Cassiopeia. Smoothie's still going to be first to fall. They trade with Fly. A 4v4 in the base, a huge Mega Narc comes across. They found almost everybody. Look at the kills come through. This is the end for FlyQuest, a 6-12 end, and a smile on Wild Turtle's face.
Welcome back to Remember This. We're jumping back into the summer's